Every day, something dramatic happens in the Caribbean that affects our lives. We'll give you the details. We'll give you the facts on Caribbean Perspective with Eddie Frederick. Here's Eddie Frederick.
Welcome to Caribbean Perspective. So glad you can join us. The story that dominates in today's edition for Thursday, 12th June 2025, and brought to you in association with our friends at Antillean Group. JLP members endorse their leader Andrew Holness for a third term. Details after this important message.
Believe in our strength, we'll stand by you. Protection from all perils, big and small. Reassurance we give, it's so glad to see. Peace of mind, that's our service guarantee. We look after all our family. Yes, we do at every opportunity.
Antillean Group, underwriters of all classes of insurance solutions for your protection and investment. Live well financially.
The hurricane season is now upon us, so we as Caribbean people need to remember to think safety and be prepared. Avoid venturing outside during a storm or hurricane, especially if there are strong winds. Rooftops and other debris are often blown about and can cause great damage.
Welcome back. JLP confident of a third term in Jamaica. Details in this CVM News report with Angela Melville.
Member of Parliament for St. Catherine Southwestern, Everald Warmington, has again thrown his full support behind Prime Minister Andrew Holness. He says Holness has outperformed previous prime ministers. Warmington, who was speaking at the St. Catherine South Central Constituency Conference, is confident in the Jamaica Labour Party, JLP, securing a third term.
There is no comparison between this government and the opposition. There's nothing they have to offer. This government has been the greatest that Jamaica has seen. And Andrew Holness' government has done more for this country than any other government before him. And if Jamaica look at that, there is no guessing where we will be. And I have no doubt that we will have the third term.
Warmington also expresses the JLP's mission to retain all 49 seats and gain some of the PNP's 14 in the next general election. This, he hints, will ensure Holness remains Prime Minister for an additional term.
We have 49 seats. There were 14. And I can tell you after election, they will have 14 because we went take somebody else. The third term is assured. And Michael Holness will be going back to Jamaica House and Parliament as the Prime Minister.
Meanwhile, Member of Parliament for St. Catherine East Central, Alando Terrelong, endorses the leadership of Holness. He considers the Prime Minister an exemplary leader.
Think of your children, Jamaicans, and think of your grandchildren, and then think of who do you want them to emulate. Think of Dr. Andrew Holness and his competition. Andrew Holness represents the hard-working Jamaican people.
Angela Melville, CVM News.
In the meantime, opposition leader Mark Golding accuses the JLP administration of economic mismanagement. Andre Jebbenson has more in this CVM News item.
Convened a high-level media conference at his office's lobby late last year. There he acknowledged anemic growth despite achieving economic stability. But PNP President Mark Golding argued on Sunday that slow growth was a direct consequence of the Holness administration's policies and leadership.
They have been unable to develop the country. They have been unable to deliver economic growth at anything other than those mager, anemic levels. And the Prime Minister himself must bear the fullest responsibility for that, because he has set up the government in a way where half of the government falls under his control, under so-called Ministry of Economic Growth and Job Creation. And we have seen where the economy is not growing because he has not the understanding of what it takes to change and restructure this economy and move it forward so that it can deliver wealth and opportunities for the people.
He accused the government of being slow to deliver on its promises, only now pushing through initiatives as the election nears.
We have a government that is late in the day, in their fifth year, well into their fifth year in office, running around trying to fool the people by cutting ribbons and breaking ground in all sorts of projects which are not even ready to be delivered to the people. They're trying to fix roads after 10 years of neglect of the road network.
He positioned his party as the alternative, promising his government would prioritize transparency and accountability.
This is why we will establish, when we form government, a broad-based body to pursue a higher level of ethics and good values and attitudes in our land, to turn us away from the descent into the abyss of corruption and the abyss of crime and the abyss of negativity.
Golding also accused the Holness administration of creating digital deceptions regarding the true state of his government's two-term efforts.
All their bots, all their fake accounts in social media, stirring up trouble, spreading lies and misinformation. The people of Jamaica must be wise to it and know that what they have is nothing more to offer. They are a spent force. After 10 years, if they couldn't deliver progress for the people, they don't deserve another term in office.
Meanwhile, Senator Gabriella Morris declared that it was time up for both the government and the incumbent MP, Crystal Lee, whom she is trying to unseat.
It cannot be that because an election is coming, you're breaking ground and putting up big sign for one little piece of road. It cannot be that now you want to promise everything to the people that you could not deliver in the last 5 years. Soon is not enough. The people are demanding more. And I want you to stand up and tell this government that they can't take Northwest people for fool.
Andre Jebinson, CVM News.
You're listening to Caribbean Perspective with Eddie Frederick, in association with our friends at
Antillian Group, underwriters of all classes of insurance solutions for your protection and investment. Live well financially.
As Guyana too prepares for general and regional elections on September 1st, the Alliance for Change AFC is confronting internal challenges with the resignation of 3 members, each of whom has now publicly thrown their support behind rival political forces. Tiana Cole of HGP Nightly News fills us in.
In a telephone interview with Nightly News, AFC's leader Nigel Hughes said whenever a long-standing member departs, the AFC always express appreciation for the contribution made during their time in the party.
The loss of a member always diminishes the party, even if that member might or might not have been active.
He added that when someone exits the party, the AFC takes time to reflect on the reasons behind their departure.
If they're kind enough to publish those, we would analyze that and take that into account in strengthening our party as we go forward.
In recent weeks, Ismail Mohammed Al Kosh, the AP New AFC Region 5 councillor, publicly endorsed President Dr. Irfan Ali and the governing People's Progressive Party Civic PPPC, describing his departure from AFC as a result of quote-unquote internal rambling. Meanwhile, David Daniels, AFC's Region 7 chairman and founder of the Small Miners Association, also declared his support for President Ali and the PPPC last Tuesday, and Region 10's Vice Chair Mark Gorin. Tianico reporting for the HGP Nightly News.
St. Lucia's Prime Minister Philip J. Pear has announced a major fiscal move aimed at reducing the cost of living for St. Lucians. During a statement to the media on Tuesday morning, the Prime Minister revealed that the government will remove the 12.5% value-added tax VAT from a wide range of food items, a move that is expected to lead to immediate price reductions at supermarkets across the island. Manasseh Stanislaus of DBS News World has more.
The initiative targets 70 essential food items, many of which were previously either VAT exempt or subject to standard VAT rates. Of these, 45 items previously carried the full 12.5% VAT, while 25 were exempt. Now, all 70 items will be zero rated, meaning they will not be taxed at the point of sale.
These items that I'm going to list for you, the price of these items should go down by 12.5% automatically, even if the price goes up when it's imported. Because the 12.5% that has been collected for the government is no longer there. As it regards the exempt goods, there ought to be some movements in the price, but I cannot vouch for that. What I can vouch for is those that are zero rated, and previously there was VAT on them, and now they become zero rated, the price ought to go down immediately.
The price of these items should go down by 12.5% automatically, Pierre explained, because the government will no longer be collecting any revenue from these sales. Among the items expected to see a drop in price are turkey parts, salted butter and cheese, mackerel and herrings, vegetables such as tomatoes, onions, garlic, carrots, cucumber and okra, staples like red kidney beans, split peas and black-eyed peas. Pierre clarified that while VAT-exempt items previously didn't have tax directly applied, additional costs like transportation and electricity still affected final prices. By moving these items to zero-rated status, retailers are expected to reflect clearer reductions at the checkout. The Prime Minister also acknowledged that while the government cannot control the original cost of imported goods, it can control the taxes applied to them once they're on island.
As far as food is concerned, we are price takers. We do not control the cost of food that comes into St. Lucia, because the imported food, the cost of imported food happens from outside. We have no control. We cannot control the cost of imported food.
To ensure compliance, he said mechanisms will be put in place to monitor supermarkets and vendors to make sure the VAT savings are passed on to consumers. Pierre's announcement comes as part of the government's broader strategy to combat inflation and ease financial pressures on households. A cut-off date for the price charge rollout is expected to be announced soon. For the DBS News World, Manasseh Stanislaus reporting.
The issue of who is entitled to Bahamian citizenship is under the microscope as authorities there grapple with dealing with the serious issue of deportees. Fern Carey of ZNS News reports.
The issue of who is entitled to receive a Bahamian passport continues to be an ongoing matter of concern. That in the wake of the May 4th, 2023 Privy Council ruling, which affirmed that children born in the Bahamas to a Bahamian father, regardless of their mother's nationality or marital status, are automatically citizens at birth. In the face of the High Court's ruling, Foreign Affairs Minister, the Honorable Fred Mitchell, provides clarity on who is eligible to get a Bahamian passport, which essentially cements an individual's citizenship in the Bahamas.
That post-1973, the question of who is a Bahamian citizen largely is determined by the female line. So, depending on whether you're married or not married, born or inside or outside the country, it can be extremely complicated to determine whether someone is a Bahamian citizen. I would ask the public, therefore, to be increasingly patient. We want to make sure that these documents actually represent the people who present themselves at the passport office, and that a Bahamian passport goes to a Bahamian.
The same issue also arises when it comes to repatriations.
That not everyone born in the Bahamas is a Bahamian at birth. And so it is possible for you to be born here but not have citizenship of the country. And so these deportees who give and list their birth as the Bahamas If they do not have Bahamian citizenship, it is our view that they do not have an entitlement to be here in the Commonwealth of the Bahamas.
The Foreign Affairs Minister also explained the Bahamas' policy as it relates to individuals who have no affiliation with the Bahamas, are apprehended in the United States for some reason or the other, and the U.S. wants to deport them to the Bahamas.
They're not entitled to return to the Bahamas. As I said, this has been a point of disagreement with us. So they have to go back to their country of origin, or their citizenship of origin, which in most of the cases connected with that, it's probably Haiti.
For the Bahamas Tonight, I'm Fern Carey.
I am Eddie Frederick. This has been Caribbean Perspective, a whole new approach to highlighting developments in the Caribbean. In the meantime, please follow us on Facebook and subscribe to our YouTube channel for daily regional news and more, in association with our friends at Antillian Group.
Believe in our strength, we'll stand by you. Protection from all perils, big and small. Reassurance we give, it's so clear to see. Peace of mind, that's our service guarantee. We look after all our family. Yes, we do at every opportunity.
Antillian Group, underwriters of all classes of insurance solutions for your protection and investment. Live well financially.